What is up, Fanatics? It's 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and that means another episode of Home Theater Fanatics Live. Tonight is episode 142, and we've got a pretty stellar episode for you tonight. So on the first half, we're going to kick things off with Remy from Zappiti, or Zappiti. We'll talk about that. And then later on, we're going to bring in Amico from the Home Entertainment Show. But getting started tonight, Remy, welcome. How are you?
Hello, hi Charles, hi everyone, and
Hey,
thank you for welcoming me in the show.
Absolutely. No, I mean, so everybody knows how much I love your product, right? I talk about it all the time. I put up, a few videos and it's, it's a common topic, and, just to set the scene for everyone. And, we're going to get into a lot of questions, a lot of information about what you've got going on. But, I said that in a theater, you have to have 3 products, right? There, from a source point of view. You have to have something to play discs. You have to have something to stream with, and then you have to have something to play files. And
Absolutely.
for me, that go-to product 100% of the time is your product, the Zappiti players. It's amazing. But we'll talk about how cool all this stuff is in just a few minutes. Maybe you can take a moment and introduce yourself to everyone so people kind of know who you are and why you're here.
Sure. So my name is Remy, and I'm mainly working for the strategy at Zappiti, and I'm also working with the research and development team. So more into the product development. This is why we're going to talk about the new range, by the way, which is amazing. Zappiti remains a small company, about 20 to 25 persons. So
Wow.
we all do a lot of things at the same time. It's not only strictly related to strategy and research and development. We're doing a little bit of marketing also.
Well, apparently you are. Here you are.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
That's cool. And now let's talk a little bit about the company. So, I mean, everybody there's wearing all the hats and you do all those different things. And your players do a lot of different things too, which is kind of cool. But what all products does the company produce?
I mean, mainly the players, so all the range of Zappiti players and the media servers. So that's the main 2 products that are actually really made by Zappiti.
Right on. Now, and those are kind of like one and the same, right? So you have a physical piece of hardware,
Right.
and that acts both as a media server and the player as well, right?
Yes, actually, I mean, the players can do both. They are players, obviously, but they can also act as media server. So for instance, if you put a hard drive in your player, you can share that content, and stream it to other players within your house, for instance. So that's why they also act as servers.
Okay.
And on the top of that, we have another called the Zappiti NAS, which is a real NAS, with up to 8 hard drives where you can store your content. And some of our customers, have huge collection of movies, sometimes 2,000 or 3,000 movies, and that requires, 50 to 90 terabytes of storage.
Right.
So that's where the players need to be replaced by a real, NAS that can hold that amount of storage for our customers.
Yeah. I mean, if you're thinking about really big collections, your products hold at the top, and the new ones are holding 2 drives in and we'll talk about these features later, but
Right.
that 2 drives versus 8 drives, that's a big difference of storage,
Yeah,
right?
no, exactly. But
That's a
actually, the hard drives goes up to 20 terabytes. So if you take a
right.
players with 2 hard drives, that can be up to 40 terabyte of storage, which is quite impressive because 40 terabyte of storage is something maybe like 500 or 600 Blu-rays. So that's quite a lot. But for some customers, it's not enough. They need more. They they have such a huge collections, and that's not only about video. That's also about audio because they use the NAS to store audio and other files, for instance.
Right, right,
So
and you
yes,
guys can play all that stuff, right? Music,
yeah,
audio, television,
absolutely,
video?
yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mm.
Well, and so for everybody out there, this is something that kind of just came up today and yesterday and today, and it was kind of a funny idea that we had. So, one of the questions that I'm asked all the time is, how do you say the name? Because you see the name written down, and you see the logo,
Yeah.
and it's got like like the ZAPs, like in a one font, and then the rest, kind of comes around, and people are like, are you supposed to say Zappiti or Zappiti or Zappiti, right? Or and everybody's like, how do you say this? So Remy came up with this idea of, let's try and collect all of the different ways that people pronounce the name of the company and turn it into a contest. So, and this is super cool. I mean, this is really awesome, everybody. And this is kicking off the holiday season of giving, I think, here on the Home Theater Fanatics show. We have the show later on December 14th where we're giving away a lot of stuff, but this is the first. This is the first one. This is the first big giveaway. So Remy has graciously stepped forward and said that he'll give away the new reference player, right?
Mhm.
And that's what, like $1,500.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and that's like
Absolutely.
I think the second tier up, or one tier from the very top, right, in the product
Right.
line, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll talk about the players in details later on, but you're right. Absolutely right.
Right on. Now,
Mm.
to enter this contest, it's not just like, hey, I'm entered, do I win or not? No, you got to do something. So and help me remember so we just made up these details literally just before the show. So the idea is, everybody out there, hop on to Instagram, and on Instagram, on your feed, hit the plus button, make a post, hold the record button down so it'll record video, point the camera at you, and give us your most interesting pronunciations of Zappiti. I mean, this could be the most valuable 15 seconds of your life. And, just let us know how you pronounce it, and make it interesting, because what happens is, when you post this, hit it with the hashtag WinZappiti, WIN ZAPPITI, hashtag WinZappiti, and the post that gets the most likes will win the reference player. And we're going to have a live stream, Saturday morning our time, which is Saturday evening your time in France, to announce that winner. And we'll just look it up, and we'll go through all the hashtags that we're able to search for and find on Instagram for WinZappiti, and the one with the most likes, you just got yourself an
Mhm.
awesome brand new player. And I mean, they're kind of hard to get right now. I was looking at looking online, and I think you sold out again, or
Yeah, there are. I mean, that's way over our initial expectations, to be honest with you. So the first production batch was sold in maybe 5 to 6 days.
Mhm.
We were expecting to last it for at least 20 to 30 days. So
That is a
everything was sold
wonderful
out in
problem to
five
have.
days. Well, yes, and there is so don't worry, because there is another batch coming out of the factory. That's going to be available in December, probably around mid-December.
Oh,
But
they can still get them for Christmas then.
Yes, yes. Well, that's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea,
Yeah.
and we're
So
working hard to get it. To get them here on time.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that the product is selling well. And you guys have been my favorite just because of all the technology that you have. I mean, you have features that set you apart from all the other players, and there are a ton of players out there. I mean, there's other places people could do business, but you guys are unique with your technology, and with this new set of hardware that you've released. I mean, you guys have everything. You threw in the kitchen sink; it does it all. So I think this is a good way to segue into the next topic. Um, you know, you had a set of players, and I think they just sunset and have been released or replaced by a new set of players in the last few months, right?
Mhm.
What's the difference between the new models and the old models? So what can people expect to get with this new stuff that they didn't get with the older stuff?
Yeah. So, well, there are many differences, but there are three main differences. Um, so let me share the screen.
Oh, that's my cue
Unless,
to
yeah.
push the button. Okay. There we go. I did it. Yay. I
There we
did my
go.
job.
Very good. Okay, so the first main difference is the chip itself. On the previous models, we used the Realtek 1295 chip, which is now 4 or 5 years old, something like that.
Mhm.
And we switched to the brand new Realtek chipset, which is the 1619, and it's obviously much more powerful. So in terms of, you know, graphical user interface, which means every time you press a button to navigate into a menu, for instance, or if you want to browse, if you're searching the right
Mhm.
movies in your poster walls that have maybe 1,000 movies to display, it's going to be a lot faster compared to the old generation. So it's up to 130%, which means
Oh, that's
it's going to
awesome.
be, yeah, it's going to be a perfect, smooth operation anytime you try to navigate or use the Zappiti software. So that's the first advantage of that new chipset. The other one is the global performance. So the global performance, I mean, it may not, be it may not talk to you like, what am I going to do with the global performance anyway? But for us, it's very important because with more power on the chipset, we can offer more futures, sorry. That can be a lot of things. So that can be some extra futures. That can be some new animations, and we're going to talk
Right.
about that in the roadmap, for instance. So that global performance increase is going to allow our research and development team to pretty much unleash their creativity, and do
Oh,
whatever
that's
they want with
awesome.
a product, which was not the case before because they had a ton of ID, but they were limited by the power of the chip. Um, just so you know, and that's a little explanation here, the Zappiti software has been developed with Unity, and Unity is the programming language that is being used for games.
Oh,
So,
that's funny because my 10-year-old is he wants to be a game programmer, right? I mean,
right.
that's his thing. And just a couple of days ago, I walk over, I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm working on this game in Unity." He's like, if you're gonna do a game, you have to do it in Unity. It's a
Exactly.
very nice development network. I mean, that's a great framework to work in.
Yeah, and everything has been designed with with Unity in Zappiti. So now with
That's
that
cool.
increase of power, we're going to be able to do a lot of things that we would like to offer in the past, but we just couldn't. So that's a very good news for everyone.
Yeah, in about 20 years, my son will be applying for a job as a Unity developer for you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. We'll stay in touch.
Just 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Now, another thing that we can do with that new chipset is the SMB protocol. So just so you know, SMB is used to share the content between the players and the NAS, for instance, or retrieve something from your PC or your Mac and place it on the Zappiti. The old chip was only managing the version one, so the version one was great, but it has some security issues because it's a pretty old protocol right now. And with a new chip, we can now migrate to version 2 and version 3, which are way more secured, in terms of traffic.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. And for the folks out there that don't know, SMB is server message block, and
Hmm.
uh, and being able to run at SMB 2 or 3 is a really big deal. So in my real life, in my other life, I run technology for a municipality here in the states, and we in the past had a number of issues with SMB 1, right? And that's completely
Right.
deprecated now. So it's really really nice to hear that you
Mhm.
guys are moving up to SMB 3.
Yeah. The other thing is we're now supporting the Widevine L1 DRM.
Hmm.
So it's not being used at the moment, but that gives us the possibility later on in the futures, to offer more services. So we're gonna see what we can do with that. I don't know, maybe offer some kind of streaming services. It's too soon to talk about that yet, but at least the chip is going to give us the ability to think about some contents that could potentially be delivered to our customers. So that's very interesting. And the last thing about that chipset is the Magic Pixel V3, which is now based on the VS10 the Dolby Vision conversion engine.
Mhm.
So we'll talk about that later on the roadmap. But you will see that it's a very interesting point.
Yeah, and
And,
I just want to reiterate that because
mhm.
the Magic Pixel is magic, and that is a feature that differentiates this platform from all others. That as I understand it, that's your technology, that's the PD technology, and it is super cool.
Yeah, just I'm gonna talk quickly about the Magic Pixel. So you know the story. It's an exclusivity because we have never talked about that before. But at first, the founders of Zappiti were doing some home theater installation. Uh, and they probably calibrated some 1,000 different kind of projectors, TV, etc. So they used all their experience in terms of calibration to create an algorithm that we call Magic Pixel, and that kind of combined all the experience they had in terms of calibration and made it available to everyone with the on every Zappiti player.
Yeah,
So
it really
that's how
does
Magic
beautiful
Pixel
work.
was born. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's gorgeous. For folks that are using, I don't know, some other tool to play their files, they're really missing out. They should, if they have a friend that's got a unit, go check it out and see what happens because it's a pretty big deal. I was extremely impressed with it when I first saw it, so I really liked it. Okay, anything else on the
And
differentiation side between the models, the
yeah,
old and new?
so just before talking about the models and of course the two main features that absolutely everyone was waiting for, since maybe 1 or 2 years, was the support of Dolby Vision and
Right.
HDR10 plus, and that's very important. So the reason why we waited so long, to offer Dolby Vision is because we wanted to make sure that Dolby Vision was going to work on every kind of files you have. That can be MKV, MP4, M2TS, and that was not the case when Realtek first released their chip. It was only working on some specific files. So we took the time that was necessary to make sure that it's gonna really work on every single movie
Right.
that's encoded with Dolby Vision. Same thing with HDR10 plus. I mean, that's really big improvement, compared to HDR10, because every scene and sometimes every frame of the movie can have a different encoding, in terms of light ratio between white to dark.
Mhm.
So that's I know that all our customers were waiting for that. So finally, it's here.
I'm so happy. Yeah,
It's in the
it's
new
so
range.
it's I mean, this is such a big upgrade. I mean, this is wonderful
Yeah.
news. Now next I want to talk a little bit about the new models, but before that, I want to say
Mhm.
hi to, folks that have jumped on. So Hi-Fi Haven, welcome to the show. Glad you're here with us. My Mail is with us. Um, Double A still hasn't made to triple A yet, but one day he'll get there. And is this a show trailer for December 14th? This is a taste. How about that? A taste of the 14th. I think I said my mail's here. Kevin Sorkin from GSG Audio. What's up, Kevin? D Ant. I don't think we've met before, but we've told you how to enter to win. So make sure you check that out. I'm looking forward to seeing your Instagram post. Herman out of China is here with us. What's up, man? Glad it's been a while since I've seen you on the show. Glad to have you here. So many people. Scott, Kevin, Amiko's here. She'll be on the show a little bit later. Oh gosh, Ray's here. Hi-Fi Turtle, the one and only, is with us tonight. So a lot of folks. If I've missed you, sorry. Aaron also. But thanks so much for everybody for jumping on. And I want to see posts from all of you guys on Instagram and gals, with your pronunciation of Zappiti. Remember, win Zappiti, hashtag win Zappiti, and make this a post on your feed, not a story, not a reel, a post, because you can get likes there, and you need lots of likes. Oh gosh, more people have jumped in. Damien's here. H Cinema's here. Keep It Up with Jones are here. Yeah, people they've been waiting, Remy, for this for so long. You've been making them wait. So happy.
Here we are, finally.
All right, let's talk about the new models now. So you have 3 models, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah. So we
Okay.
have three models: the Zappiti Neo, the Zappiti Reference, and the Zappiti Signature.
Okay.
So as you can see here, the Neo is much bigger than the previous Zappiti One or even the Zappiti Mini. And by the way, the Zappiti Mini is still available right now. The reason why it's going to be still available is because it remains a very small device, that you can hide behind a TV, for instance, and we still have a lot of demand for that. But the Zappiti One that you all know is now being replaced by the Zappiti Neo. So it comes with all the features we've been talking about, the new chipset, Dolby Vision HDR10 Plus, Magic Pixel V3, the Dolby VS10 video processing. And it comes with one HDD bay, where you can put a hard drive up to 20 terabyte. Obviously, it reads all the movies format that you could previously read on Zappiti. It comes with a display, so that's new for us. On the Neo, it's a LCD display.
That's really nice. I'm glad that you guys put that on there.
Yeah, I know that was a request from our customers also.
Yeah.
And you will understand later on why it's so important on the new range. Needless to say that obviously it comes with the exact same integration protocol as we had in the past, which are mainly Crestron, Control4, Ellen. So that's very useful if you have an installation, a complex installation that you want to control with one single device. So the new range is obviously compatible with all these automation protocols. There is also the Zappiti Real Cinema, which is the 23.976 hertz for the frames. And what's great also about the Zappiti Neo is that it comes with an external power supply, which is a regular power supply. But later on, if you want to upgrade your player and you may not want to replace it, what you can do is just replace the power supply by a hi-fi power supply. So any 12 volts, audiophile grade power supply will do the job and allow you to improve your actual player.
That's outstanding. Oh, that's super cool.
So
the hairs just stood up on my arm, and I know that's really weird to say about a power supply, but that's awesome.
Yeah, because the power supply is the base. If you want to get a perfect picture quality with no grain and as smooth as possible, well, then the first step is obviously to have a perfect power supply that's filtered, and delivers a very stable tension to the player.
Right.
So yeah, I think the upgradable power supply will probably be sold by Zappiti, but you can put any power supply you want, as long as it's 12 volts and it's okay with our prerequisite. So that's one way to upgrade your Zappiti Neo. And the HD slot, yeah, we just talked about. So here is a view of the back panel here. It's slightly different from the Zappiti one, but the thing you have to remind is you still have 2 HDMI plug at the end. One for your AV amplifier and one for your TV. It's like the Zappiti One SE. That was not available on the Zappiti Mini or neither the Zappiti One, but now it's available on the Zappiti Neo. So now let's talk about the other one, the Zappiti Reference. So the Zappiti Reference is has even a bigger chassis. I think it's I'll have to double check, but I think it's maybe 14 pounds or something like that.
Now
It
the Neo is the chassis is about the same size as the 4K Pro from before. Is that right?
Yes,
About
it's a, yeah, that would be, that's a good comparison. Yeah.
okay.
So
And so this one's
it's
even a little
much
bit
bigger
larger.
than the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And this is for everybody out there. This is the one that's being given away. So this is the one. This thing's cool. So go ahead, Remy.
Yeah. And so on the Zappiti reference, you have an OLED display, which is a giant display. It can display I don't have the picture right here, but it can display the name of the movie. There is a progress bar also, and a lot of other information. This time it comes with two HDD bay, so you can store up to 40 terabyte of movies by adding two hard drives of 20 terabyte each. It's got a massive, I think it's on the next pictures. Yeah, it's got a massive toroidal power supply, which is a very high power supply. Actually, it's the same one as we use in the Zappiti Pro, but we improved some other components, other than the power supply itself. We change all the power supply rail that you can see on this picture here, and it's all made with the Nichicon capacitors, for instance.
Oh wow.
So we really choose the best among the electronic providers in terms of components. And obviously, what's really new and that was not available on the Zappiti Pro is the fact that we are adding a DAC on this player. It's an ESS 9038, which is a premium DAC. It can read DSD up to 512. I
Wow.
mean, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you
native
guys got
DSD.
serious about high quality sound.
Yeah, and that's I mean that DAC is just beautiful. That's what they use in most audio high-end equipment. You got a DNR that goes up to 128 dB, which is really among the best performance that you can find on the market. And the idea was really to have something that's as close as possible as high-end piece of hi-fi equipment, because most of our customers were saying, the picture is great about Zappiti, but I also have a very nice amplifier, and I would like to use my player to really like enjoy my music files that can be stored
Right.
on the NAS or on the players, and so here it is. We made it with the ESS DAC. And obviously, because it's got an ESS DAC, it comes with an XMOS audio processor that do all the digital work inside the player. There is a reclocking feature, for instance. So the clock of the player is going to adjust based on the bit rate of the music files you're playing. It can be a 44.1 if it's a CD, or 48. That can read up to 32-bit music files also. So that's a great combo. I mean, the DAC plus the XMOS chipsets, the power supply, and the very high-end components is giving you a very good machine in the way that it's going to be excellent in video, obviously, and very very good in music also.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's a picture here of the two hard drive bays, and you can see that there is an aluminum front cover that can be removed. And as you can see on the back of the player, it's got some XLR outputs also.
Oh, now you're
Yeah.
talking my language. Oh, you're talking my language.
The plugs itself are made by Nutric, the
Hmm.
German companies.
That
So
is the XLR company.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. And still has two HDMI output, obviously, with a USB-C and USB 3 plugs to put a hard drive or whatever else you want.
Hmm.
So that was the reference. And there is the Zappiti signature. So the Zappiti signature really looks like the same as the Zappiti reference. We just made some change in terms of power supply, because instead of using one toroidal power supply, we use two core power supply.
Hmm.
One that is dedicated to the digital board, So really to power the chip, for instance, and all the digital processors, and another transformer that is being used exclusively for the DAC itself. So for the analog part of the player.
Right.
So this way they don't interfere with each other. And the DAC is being replaced by the ESS 9038 Pro version, which is actually the highest grade that you can get from ESS. They don't have anything better at the moment, and it can goes up to 140 dB, which is actually, I think it's pretty much the best that you can get in the audio industry right now. Maybe you have few models that goes up to 141 or 142, but it's really among the very best. I mean, obviously, still compatible with DSD 5112.
Right.
There is also a superior version of the XMOS chipset. We use the XMOS 216, which is also the latest version for XMOS. And there is a third processor, which is an Intel Altera, and the Intel Altera allows you to do some, post-processing on the audio part by applying some extra filters, for instance. I mean, people that are familiar with audio DAC already knows that. So with the signature, you already get the very best of what you can expect from a DAC.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, and the other feature also, if you look at the back panel, you can use the player as an external DAC also. So you can plug a CD player or a streamer directly into your Zappiti players.
Very
And
nice.
yeah,
And
and
what is that, coax?
yeah, that's going
Yeah,
to
and
be
optical.
coax and optical, absolutely. So there is also a digital out, but yeah, mainly you would need you would use, sorry, the coax and the optical to connect your streamer to your Zappiti player.
So you're almost like a little baby preamp too, right? Because
Yes.
you can take
Oh,
that you
good
can take the
point.
input from your
Uh,
CD transport, right? Yeah.
exactly, and I forgot about that. And there is there is an output for your headphones also on the signature.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
nice.
So you're right.
Very nice.
So let's say that the reference is probably going to be the best, the best seller, and the signature is more for customers that have some very high end expectations in terms of audio, and the Neo is the player for people that only want to use the video and let their AV amplifier do the work for
Mhm.
the audio.
Right. Okay. That makes
So
sense.
we're yeah, hopefully covering, I mean, the three different requests we had from our previous customers.
Awesome. Very cool. That's outstanding. And those are all I just can't even imagine. I mean, it's such a huge change and so many nice new features and so much horsepower. And I look forward to down the line, and maybe we can talk about down the line a little bit. Innovation around your UI and things like that you'll be able to do with Unity and the extra
Mhm.
horsepower. So what's what's going to be new for 2022? Anything on the roadmap for this coming year?
Yeah, so there are going to
Oh,
be a
here we
lot
go.
of
You've got a slide for that.
yes. Well, to be honest with you, we're going to have more features than that, obviously. So, but these are the two main features that we can already talk right now. The first one that we would like to release, and again, that was an expectation that from our customers since a long time now, is the native CinemaScope format. So, in other words, all the menus, the pasta walls, the movie arts, and pretty much everything that's really related to the graphical user interface is going to be fully 235 compatible within the next months right now.
That's outstanding because I use a fixed anamorphic lens in my theater,
Yeah.
so that's a big deal.
It is, and there are, we know so many customers like you that were saying, well, we love ZBD, etc., but please, on the next version, make it 235 compatible. So we heard you, and it's going to be available within the next month.
Yeah, I saw a comment come across saying that scope screen folks, 2351 folks didn't get any love. Well, Here's the love. It's here.
Yeah, honestly, we still have a lot of demand for that. And there are not that many players on the market that that are 235 compliant right now.
Right.
So it's always a frustration, for people like you. You say, okay, I have an anamorphic lens, for instance, and okay, what am I going to do now? Because my player is not 235 native, so
Yeah. What
it's
happens
coming.
is I push the button on my remote control to change the
Yeah,
scaler a
I know.
lot, and then have to,
Mm.
you know,
That's
take it down
the
to
bypass
69.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's used. But another thing is going to be, so the new graphical user interface, teams. And I mean, there are also other things that are going to be included in that package, but I'm not really going to be able to show you some example right now, um, because it's always very difficult to display the change we want to apply to the graphical user interface, a long time in advance,
Right.
because our
Sure. Understood.
competitors will obviously look at what we're doing. But like we said at the beginning, the great news is that with that extra power we got from the chip, and the fact that we're already using Unity since day one, that's going to be some crazy things that are coming up from that. I would love to give you some more details about that. I
Well,
can't
let's
right
schedule
now, but
another
that's
time throughout the
it.
year, as we get into 22
Yeah,
and these features, are getting closer to ready.
because in
Let's,
terms of
yeah,
movie arts, for instance, you're going to see things that are just not available anywhere else other than Zappiti. So our developers and engineers are working on that right now. As soon as it's ready, as soon as the showcase is ready, yeah, I would be more than happy to do another show with you, and spend 20 minutes just to show you the magic of the new interface, because
absolutely.
that's really worth it.
Cool. Cool. So anything else on new features in 22 to mention before we move on to the next section?
We're also going to add the real offline mode. So that's something that was
Oh,
asked by some
nice.
customers, because sometimes they take their player with them and on their vacation site, for instance, and the internet connection is not that good. So when you have to display the passwords and the synapses of the
Hmm.
movie, etc., it was not that convenient. So with the offline mode, all your collection will be stored, will be accessible even if you don't have an internet connection. And that was also requested by some of our customers that are in the yachting industry, because
Right.
when the yacht is at the harbor, everything is fine, but when they live on the sea, well, then they just cannot access their all the nice parsers they had when they
Right.
had the internet connection. So that's also coming up for 2022.
Awesome.
And there are other things, but again, that I'm not, unfortunately, not able to talk about everything right now. Um, but yes, everyone is very excited here at Zappiti, because now we got the right engine, to
Right. You've got the
to
right
play
tool
with.
for the job to, yeah, to add new
Exactly.
features.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
one thing that you can talk about,
Mhm.
and you mentioned this to me just before the show, and I don't even know what this is, everybody. This is, I don't know. There's a new partnership that you guys are going to announce, and I have no idea what it is. So I think this is new for the whole world. You heard it here
Exactly.
first.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And so, as
Oh,
you can
sweet
see, we're
Jesus.
partnering with Trinnov.
Oh my God.
Trinnov.
Oh,
So I don't think that we need to present Trinnov. I mean, maybe for some people who doesn't know, that's the number one. I mean, the industry reference in terms of home amplifiers. They come up a couple years ago. I mean, all their success was based on that magic um, calibration that they can apply to the source. Uh, they can handle up to, I think it's right now on their newest models, up to 48 channels,
hmm,
within the same room. So you're really, really close from what exists in commercial home theaters. Um, I mean, the difference is
very
there
small
is
now.
almost no difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I mean, Trinnov was always, an example for us. I mean, we've been doing so many shows with them in the past, and 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 at first, I mean, just to explain you how that partnership, was born. Trinnov started to use our players when they were doing their demos, in shows
Hmm.
like CES, for
Oh
instance,
yeah.
and yeah, AVS shows. And they team started to get interested by our players, and they said, well, you're really doing great in terms of video. So we started to get in touch with them, and open the discussion and see what we could do together. So finally, we come up to an agreement. So it's brand new. I'm not going to be able to to tell you what's going to come out from that agreement right now. But we have tons of project to do with them. Maybe work on the audio part, maybe have some product in commons. It's too soon, but both companies are really excited about that, and I'm sure that some really great stuff are going to come out from that partnership.
That's outstanding. And you got that quote from Chuck up there, and
Hmm.
Chuck was on the show 3 or 4 weeks ago, talking about the Trinnov products, and that is super exciting news. I am super fans of both of your brands and companies, and I'm really happy to see you guys working together. That's really cool.
And the first thing that's going to be available right now, and that's we already sent the update to you, to enable that features on all our players. That means the new range that you're looking at right now,
Hmm.
and the old range. Um, so all our players will be supporting the DTS X Pro format. That is, the DTS X Pro format is an enhancement of the DTS X. So that was a partnership that Trinnov had with DTS, that can handle up to 30 channels on the soundtrack. So there are no right now so many movies that are DTS X Pro, uh, but it's coming. Things are moving forward.
Right
So
on.
all our players are now compatible with that format.
That's
And
outstanding.
right, and then the new players will be also displaying a very special announcement from Trinnov that all our customers will be able to see. It's a very nice animation movie they did, um, but you'll see that um, when you will play with the new players. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff, based on that partnership
Awesome.
with Trinnov.
Awesome. Okay, so Remy, we're running a little bit long.
Hmm.
We're actually over time now, but I do want to close out and answer one question, and because there's one feature. So, this is usually where I do the tech topic of the week, but we'll go really fast. Hey, everybody, it's time for the tech topic of the week! Yay! Um, so one thing that was a lot of people have asked me about is multi-room functionality, and we touched on
Hmm.
that just a little bit before, but
Hmm.
how do all these things work together? So if you've got like 3 rooms with 3 televisions, how do you share storage and all this? How does that all work? And what's going on
Exactly.
with
So
that?
that's the whole point actually, because again, many of our customers starts with one player in their living room. Then obviously when you start to have 10, 20, or 30 terabyte of movies, well, you want to be able to share these movies across your house. So you want to be able to see it from your master bedroom or for the kids' bedroom. For the kids, you need a parental control, so it's already built in the Zappiti players. And the way it works is that each player talk to the other players that are within the same local network in your house. So if you have, I don't know, like 10 movies on your Pro players, and 10 movies on your Neo players, and 10 movies on your some other Zappiti players, I mean, these 30 movies are going to be combined into one single collection that's going to be available for every single device within the same local area network in your house. So you don't have to worry about, hey, I need to transfer that movie to that player because, or whatever. It's all being handled by Zappiti.
That's cool.
Uh,
And
yeah.
it seems like there would be an additional feature that's kind of built into that. That if you buy your first player, and just say you buy a reference that holds 2 drives, right? And you fill it up,
Hmm.
you put 40 terabytes in there, right? Well, you're running out of space. Just say you have, I don't know, every 1,000 movies, whatever that is. It's a lot of
Yeah.
movies. But you have another room and you need another player. Well, you stick another player in that other room, add all that storage in. So now you're maybe up to 4 hard drives worth of storage. So
Exactly.
it might eliminate the need for buying some type of external storage device
Hmm.
if the capacity that you put into these players is enough to hold your whole collection. So that's kind of a benefit for folks that don't want to have a lot of extra pieces. They just want the boxes by the televisions and they don't want to deal with other stuff.
Hmm.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
And
Right
that's the
on.
point. Mm.
Well, I think at this point we're going to call it. And I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I mean, I am so enthusiastic. I'm blown away by the Trinnov announcement. I'm blown away by the giveaway. So everybody that's out there, if you didn't see earlier, I'll recap this at the very end of the episode, but I'll tell you what you need to do to enter to win a reference player, the brand new reference from Zappiti, which is a beast of a player. It's got the XLR outs. It's got that toroidal power supply. It does everything, upgraded processor, HDR 10 plus and Dolby Vision and the whole gamut. So very, very generous of you for that. And I hope we get a lot of entries there with some really interesting pronunciations of the company name.
Yeah.
All right, Remy, anything in
Thank
closing?
you very much, Giles, for everything, and thank you to you all. I mean, the followers for spending time with us and discovering the new range.
Awesome. Cool. All right.
And so
Well,
we'll be back on Saturday for
that's
the
right.
result of the contest.
Yep. So I'll post it up but we're thinking about, what was it? 10 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Time, Saturday, which is about 4 o'clock in your time. So the winner will be announced. Let's just mark it down. I'm writing it down right now. 10 a.m. Mountain Time, Saturday. So you don't have a lot of time to be creative and get your Instagram posts up there, everybody. So get it done. All right, Remy, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you very, very soon.
Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right. See ya. Okay, now, if you didn't think that was enough good stuff in one episode, we've got more really big news coming right now because there are some big announcements that Emiko is going to tell us all about. And if you don't know her, well, you're about to. The crowd goes wild.
Hi, Giles.
If you don't know her, you're about to.
That's what they tell me. How are you?
Like that introduction? Was it classy?
Yeah, that was pretty classy. I gotta say. That was all right, my friend.
Well, welcome to the show. It's been a while.
Thank
I'm so glad to have you on.
It's been a hot minute. It wasn't. You were on Hi-Fi Happy Hour on Friday, and then we launched
on my
into
show. It's been
I know.
It's been a couple of minutes.
It has been a couple of minutes. I get to see your lovely smiling face weekly, so that's very nice.
I'm glad you think it is, because some other people are like, no.
No, we all love Giles, don't we? Come on, everybody. We love Giles.
Everybody's like...
I know. Everybody's like, well, I like him as a friend, I guess.
Everybody's like, Emiko. They're like, thank goodness.
Hi, everybody.
Well, maybe for the people who don't know you, take a minute to let people know, who you are and what you got going on and why they should know who you are.
Well, it's funny when you asked me to say, yeah, I was like, I'm really good at being in your seat, but not in this seat. I am, the two things up there in my name thing, I didn't think StreamYard was going to allow it to keep going. I thought it was going to cut it off. But I am the director of marketing for the Home Entertainment Show, which is the show, THE, which is the United States' longest running hi-fi and audio trade show that's open to the public. Yes, we do factually hold that record. It is true. And I'm also a contributor for Enjoy the Music. I'm the new host and producer for the new Acoustics video series. I'm about to be starting with yet another publication. And my hi-fi moniker is That Hi-Fi Girl, or to be inclusive of the guys, because I was told that hi-fi is for guys too. It's been shortened to THG. Because apparently I'm supposed to include men in hi-fi. I don't know if y'all know that, but it's for everybody. So
I never knew that males were associated with the hi-fi at all.
No, that's why you do home theater, because hi-fi was just for women. So you had to go do home theater. That's
I feel so excluded right now.
So anyway, so that's the scoop, right? Did I forget anything? I mean,
well, there's one thing I'm dying to talk about.
Okay, tell me.
Well, no, it's your secret announcement.
Which one? I have like 6 of them.
The one that's about me and the one that has
Which one about you?
I don't. Let's talk about them all.
Okay.
You pick the list and you go. And here's your question. H Cinema says, who has a Zappiti here? I've got one. Moving on. Okay. So let's talk about your announcements. What you've got news. You've got big news. I want you to trump this whole thing.
Are we talking about your calendar centerfold? Is it that one?
Ooh,
do you want to start with that, or do you want to start with the Denver thing?
Let's start with the Denver thing.
The Denver thing. Okay, so we're very pleased to announce at the show that the show, the home entertainment show, has expanded into the Denver, Colorado market, and I'm even more pleased because as of this morning, I was able to confirm a very, very, very particular piece of programming, which is going to be so freaking exciting. The Denver show will be happening in the autumn of 2022. I did speak to the hotel today, so I can confirm. I cannot tell you dates and which hotel. I'm not allowed to say that publicly yet, but we do have that. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, the programming. So we're starting something called the University. Right? Everything is styled T period, H period, E period, right? And it's a standardized form of understanding hi-fi and audio. And it's going to be led by none other than my very good friend, Lenny Mayu, who is currently with MoFi. He formerly was with, of course, Audience AV, and now he's with MoFi. And Lenny and I had a syllabus meeting this morning and just have some tremendous things in the course. This is not, I repeat, this is not a dealer event. It's not a dealer course. It's like a philosophy and understanding of hi-fi in general. So it's an exciting thing because with the advent of the Denver show, next week we're launching the group, right? And Giles being our ambassador, you get to be part of both, and you're going to be boots on the ground for us in Denver, which we're super stoked about. And I know you're going to be leading a lot of really great home theater programming for the group as well, which is separate from the Denver show and the Long Beach show, but it's sort of a year-round thing that we're doing. And then Giles, you're going to be in the calendar too.
I know,
right?
This. Aren't you? Yeah. I've got my mankini already picked out.
Hey,
I know. I can't decide if I should wear my mankini or if I should wear my Gzilla outfit.
Gzilla. Well, or you could do like half Donald Duck and go mankini on top and Gzilla on the bottom, or Gzilla on top and mankini on the bottom. I don't know.
Man, there's so many options there.
I know. It's the burden of flexibility, really.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Gosh. And let's not talk about my flexibility though, because that's a whole different topic for a whole different show. But no, tell us about this calendar. What's the deal? What's going on?
Okay, so the calendar, which is not, it's not a show thing. It's actually something that Hi-Fi Turtle inspired it. Ray and I were talking the other day.
Was he naked? He was naked. I know he was. He's all like, I have a calendar I'm making. You're like, what kind of calendar is that? He's like, it's like those fireman calendars, but it's like me with like speakers covering up the spots and everybody wants it. And you're like, I'm getting into this action. We're doing the calendar. Is that how it came about?
No.
Dang. I was making up this fantasy in my head about Turtle.
That could go in so many different ways.
So
Turtle, be glad you have a shell. I'm going to leave that right there, my friend.
He says, oh boy.
Oh boy. No. I would be hard pressed to believe that Turtle was in the nude while speaking to me, because Turtle's wife is lovely. And also I think he was at work. So a couple of different reasons why Turtle would probably be wearing pants as a rule.
He was recounting or remembering his photo shoot for his collection.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a good try.
Look, just because we're both Japanese, we don't talk about that at the Japanese meetings, okay? I don't know. I don't know. That wasn't on our. I don't think that was on our meeting agenda. I didn't flip the page over, so I don't know. But anyway, so no. So I'm going to be on Turtle's show. Turtle, do not encourage him. What are you doing?
See, I knew it.
Stop it. Gentlemen, and I use that term loosely. I'm going to be on IGTV Live tomorrow with Turtle talking about some other, this and some other stuff as well. Namely my THG Hi-Fi Lifestyle line, Hi-Fi Superstars, that kind of thing. And Turtle made a funny promo of him. So there's a picture that's been used of me in the press where I'm sitting next to my Eggleston Works OSO loudspeakers, right? The big purple ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
And thank you. And then Turtle decided that he was going to pose next to his new focals in the same kind of pose. And so he put us together in this promo. And I said, bro, that looks like a calendar. And he goes, oh my God, it does. And I said, I should do a calendar. And he said, do a calendar and call it Hot and Hi-Fi. And so,
oh my God,
ladies and gentlemen, awesome. It's the official announcement. We're doing a Hot and Hi-Fi 2022 calendar. And I have a bunch of great people lined up for it, yourself included, Giles, Turtles included, a few other folks that y'all know. And the poses and the speakers and it's just phenomenal because it's about damn time that hi-fi is truly pushed into the mainstream with nothing other than a calendar that can be sold at Barnes and Nobles. So there you go.
That's so awesome.
That's what's up. And I have told everybody, just for the record, people that want to pose with their bookshelf speakers, I said, size matters in my calendar. You better have floor standards or nothing. Go home.
Oh,
that's what's up.
Sounds like I'm going to be pulling out my Stark
sound tower. I was so hoping. Who was I talking to about you and the Stark sound?
Yeah, the ICH5 big blue ones.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I think if we can get that, I've got somebody who's got a huge pair of Wilsons that's coming in. There's like a whole bunch of other really great stuff. So it's going to be so much fun. And everybody's going to have, I'll assign months and everything and little factoids, and it's going to be great. So I hope that everybody will go buy the calendar when it comes out because it's happening.
This is the funniest, most awesome thing ever.
But did you ever think, like, from being in a Godzilla costume and being an underground rapper to being like a calendar centerfold? I mean, really, dreams do come true.
I do wonder who you're going to pick for those center months. I'm and will there be a fold out?
Well, that depends on a couple. That depends on. Remember, there's a woman running this initiative, so. Gentlemen, just be prepared. That's all I got to say about that.
So many things to be discovered about this calendar. Surprise!
This is where cables matter, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. Right here. This is where cables matter.
I'm just going to wrap myself in cables.
There you go.
Cable-to-sign cables matter.
Turtle's going to be next to you like this.
Oh, maybe I can get a bunch of cables and be like all tied up.
Bondage. There you go. Right. That's right. Exactly.
So that's yes. Cool stuff. The calendar, obviously Denver show. And I'm super excited about that because I love Denver and I want us to have more of this type of opportunity in this metro area. Yeah. So this is going to be a great ad for just, not only hi-fi for us to have another show that we can go to, but for this area. I think it'll be really, really good for the city and the county and just Denver in general. And then the group. Yeah. And that's like little micro shows, right?
Well, the group, we can talk about the group now because the group the website is basically up. We're starting, it launches next week. We'll start pre-sale memberships next week, and then all the programming will start in Q1, like in January. So you'll get an early bird price to join the group. It's an annual membership. I can confirm that we have, I cannot say the details yet because I'm waiting on the final wording, but I can confirm that we do have a very particular involvement from Cobuzz for the group. That's really exciting for all group members. We are going to have some very specific, exclusive, highly curated lifestyle experiences. So not so much mini shows, but I'll give you an example of one that we're doing in Denver. We're going to be at a gated, luxurious, private space. So people will be able to hear 3 or 4 systems in a non-hotel environment. I'm not allowed to say what type of environment. I can just say a non-hotel environment is all I can say right now. And then they will have other really cool lifestyle experiences like supercar driving, wine tasting. There's a catered lunch and dinner and all this really, I mean, look, I run a show, right? So I love shows. Shows are fantastic, but you don't get to do all of those things at a show.
Right.
And I've been to a lot of shows, and I can tell you, you don't get to do those things at a show. Now, you do get to do them through the group, and you get to do them in different areas. So you can pick and choose which events you want to go to as a group member. And the cool thing is, like Giles and I were talking about this on Hi-Fi Happy Hour on Friday, wherever we're holding them, our aim is to support the local market with either local manufacturers, local designers, local brewery, winery, whatever services are in the local culture, because we want to spotlight that and give that to the community, right? And amp that up. No pun intended. So, or pun intended, I don't know. So in Denver, there's so much. I mean, I spent a couple of years there recording, and I think Denver's a wonderful, wonderful city, and I think it's cool. And there's so much to do, and there's so much to bring in, and hopefully, showcase differently.
Yeah, that's exciting. All of those things that you said are things that I would love to do. And so if I would like to do them, I know that other people are of kind of a similar mindset. So I think it's going to be a humongous hit. And
I hope so.
It's all about building a community as well, right? So it's just another way to build community.
It is. And I was hired by the show when they underwent their rebranding, because for a while they were the show Newport, then the show Irvine, or was it the other way around? I don't know. I've been with the show for a few years. For those of you who had gone to the show pre-Emiko and then post-Emiko, I think you see a lot of really cool changes. And those aren't just because of me. That's because I have a team of people that are incredibly forward-thinking. They want to serve the community in the best, newest, most exciting, most engaging ways possible. And we love traditional audio shows, but the Denver show that we're going to be putting on is aiming to be different, right? And Giles, you and I talked about this, where we want to incorporate a lot more home theater, a lot more gaming, a lot more integrated entertainment experiences, so that it's almost like a seamless journey between them, so that all people in your family, all of your friends, all of your family can enjoy this. And it's not just like, I'm going to the show and I want to leave my wife at home. No. There's something for everybody there, and all on equal footing.
Yeah, that's exciting because, for me, I like to do things with all my family. And, I took my wife and kids to Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. I think it was like 3 years ago. They were not really enjoying it. They're like, we went through a couple of rooms and they're like, Dad, it's all the same. It's just these speakers and they're playing all this really old music. And I'm like, well, you got it pegged, son. Your daddy still enjoys it. But for them, they were like, no, pass, done. 10 minutes and I'm enough.
Right.
So for me, it's exciting that,
For sure.
this could be a show that they could come to. And, if you want to have that 2-channel experience, you have it, right? You want to listen to vinyl and new players and really expensive high-end gear, it's all there. But man, if you want to go check out a multi-channel setup and a projector, and you can do that too. And if you want to do some gaming stuff, it's all there too. This is, the whole ecosystem of home entertainment, right? It's purely, truly home entertainment.
Yeah, and I'll further that with an example. Like, my son is going to be 11 next month and has a Christmas list 1.5 miles long, right? And his birthday is in December, so I have to pull double duty because no, you cannot combine the Christmas. Oh, and we're part Jewish, so there's 8 nights of Hanukkah, Christmas, and birthday. That's 10 gifts, 8 gifts
plus the Japanese gifts.
We don't talk about that at the meetings either. So
I was going to say, don't you talk about that at the meeting?
No. So the point is, there's a boatload of gifts, right? And he's expecting the same amount from all family members. So he's done the math. He's like,
I'm counting the boxes.
Yeah, he's got this down to a science. But we were talking, and he's a big gamer. As much as Mom would like him to read paper books, he wants to play games. But he's committed to this, and he's explaining to me things like reaction time of gaming mouse and gaming keyboards, and then headphones that need to be, like surround and all of these things. And I said to him, "Oh, you mean like?"
Oh, I think we've lost her, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give her a 3 and a 2 and a 1. Okay, so I think Emiko is having some technical difficulties here. She's going through her story. Well, I'm going to recap for folks, all the cool stuff that we talked about today and things that you need to know about. So if you want to win a Zappiti reference, this is the brand new mid-tier player. It's about $1,500. It does XLR, DSD 512, all of the audio video stuff. It's got the new chipset. It does Dolby Vision, does all the standard high dynamic range stuff. It'll be part of the new Trinnov integration. Really cool. So if you want one of those, you need to create. Oh, here she comes. She's back. So I can't hear you now though.
What?
There you are. You're back. Yay. So I was just giving the quick recap on the contest. So if you want to enter, you need to go to Instagram. You need to create a feed post, not a story, not a reel, just a post on your feed, a video of you and your most interesting pronunciation of the company Zappiti. Make sure you tag that with hashtag WinZappiti, WinZappiti. And this coming Saturday morning, we're going to have a live stream at 10 a.m. Saturday. I wrote it down. And we'll announce the winner. And the criteria is who gets the most likes. Man, I'm entering this damn contest too.
Can I enter?
You totally can enter.
But I'm not gonna enter as me. I'm gonna enter as my alter ego, Rose.
Well, that's my alter ego too.
No, you can't have Rose. You can have Esther.
I'll enter as Gzilla.
Gzilla.
Under my Gzilla account. Right. No, I can't win. That would not be ethical.
No, you can't do that. That's
damn it. I really want one of those players, so they're so cool. Yeah, so everybody, please enter. I'm going to be searching for entrants. The way that we'll look at it is we'll just search for the hashtag WinZappiti and then look and see the likes, and that'll be that. Somebody's going to get one.
That's so cool.
But go ahead. You were talking about something that has left my mind now. So what?
So my son was saying, "How do you know Odyssey?" And because I'm his mom and I'm older than dirt, right?
Sure. Yeah, we
all parents are older than dirt, even when we're not.
My youngest is the same age as yours.
Okay, so you right? We know
10-year-olds.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get him into sort of an elevated listening experience. He loves music, he loves movies, and he doesn't care. But all of a sudden we started talking about the importance of why he needed surround. And he's like,
totally.
Well, Mom, huh?
Totally. Oh, I totally get it. You have to have it.
Well, he's like, I want to be able to hear if a creature crawls up behind me, and I have to, my reaction to all these things, right? I sound very mom, just going, I don't know what he's talking about. But I said, okay, honey. And so I went from that to saying, well, you know, what's interesting about having them in your headphones, if you take them out of your headphones and you have this type of an environment, and we went through this whole thing, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, he's asking me about, well, does power make a difference? Well, what about my chords? Well, what about this? What about that? And then we got into the audio discussion, and it was really cool because at that moment, I realized that I was speaking audiophilia to a kiddo who 30 minutes ago didn't give two SHs about it all, you know, and now all of a sudden it was relevant in his life, and he understood. And so the purpose of a show like the show that we're putting on in Denver is really to reach and engage with everyone, to offer everyone the opportunity to explore as much or as little as they would like.
That's awesome.
That's all it is.
I like it. I like it. And I just saw something that I thought was hilarious.
I saw
that Wi-Fi girl.
So
that's so funny. I don't know why that's so funny.
I'll tell you what the crap part about this is that I have my Wi-Fi, I have my extender, and I have my Ethernet cable, and nothing in this particular room, I swear the walls have been painted with kryptonite. Like nothing works. It's really annoying. Funny. Like we've been through this a couple of times with me.
So Dean says that Denver's a great place for a show. I couldn't agree more, Dean. Black Mantle says his Stark sub arrived today. Found out about the brand on your channel. I love Stark Sound stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, they've got the SW series on sale right now, and that SW15 is a absolute beast. And the 10s are just so cool because they're so small, but they're so good. Hi-Fi perpetuates all these horrible things.
But Turtle speaks the truth though, because that happened to me in 4th grade.
And then yes, so AA recapped for Ryan Short, you know, Instagram #WinZappiti on a video that you post with your pronunciation of the brand Zappiti. Oh, right on. So we are over time. We're about 30 minutes in for you. Anything else you want to cover for anybody out there before we start shutting this baby down for tonight?
Not at the Mo. I want to when we get the calendar stuff done, I'll give you the talking
excited.
Points.
So excited.
I will say this. The group launches next week. So go follow the Home Entertainment Show. And we'll be posting a ton of stuff. I haven't posted anything for the show recently just because we've been busy building the group, right? But in the next couple of days, it's just going to explode. So go check that out. And when we launch, we'll be having a limited time, lower priced membership, like a thanks for joining early type of a thing. And that's really exciting. And check out Giles's calendar spread in the Hot and Hi-Fi 2022 calendar that I've got coming out.
I want to be objectified.
We can do that. I'm all about leveling the playing field. You know that, right, bro?
I want to be objectified. That's, I've been working at this for 47 years. And finally, all of these potato chips and pizza and all this junk food is paid off.
It's all going to pay off, my friend.
It's a huge mess is what it is. It's going to be awesome.
All going to pay off.
All right. So little housekeeping on my side. So as many of you guys and gals know, I've been on a home remodel kick for a while. And I've been releasing I just put down new floors in my kitchen videos. Everybody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, this is what I'm doing. So this is the content you get. I can't make extra time. So you get to see what I'm doing. But we just had some touch-up paint work done in the kitchen today, got some trim and molding on the cabinets and stuff, and it's so close. Friday, we got some folks coming in to do backsplash work. So man, this has been a long process for our kind of do-it-yourself kitchen spruce up, not really a remodel, but a spruce up, and it's turned out pretty good. But I've got the frame television that's going to go on the wall in the little breakfast area next door. So that'll be a piece of technology, and I'll create a video about that one. And I'm really excited about getting that television up because that's going to be super cool because, it displays art until you trigger the motion sensor, or the motion sensor. When you trigger it, it turns on, displays artwork. And then if you want to watch television, you can still stream and watch TV. And when you turn it off, it goes back to artwork, and you can have all kinds of cool artwork and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I'm super behind on finishing up a video for Cherry amplifiers. I'm mostly done with it, but not done with it all the way. But my wife has usurped all my time on this kitchen stuff. So I feel really bad because it's supposed to be out like a week ago. Actually a little bit even more than that, but I'm working on that one. So that one's coming soon. And I've got a bunch more clips content to get out there. More Stark Sound content's going to be on the way. So much stuff. Then on December 14th, we've got the big holiday festival giveaway stream, and I think you might be coming on to that. Yes. I think maybe, and we'll talk about that. Maybe some show passes or something like that, and we'll figure that out. So I'm excited for that as well.
Maybe a calendar, a hi-fi calendar giveaway too.
Snap. Man, that's exciting.
Yes.
So a lot of stuff there. I'm talking to GSG again, and I want to do some builds for those guys, but that might be out a little bit. I might do one of the evil winter builds, and that's it's hard to take on a subwoofer DIY build in the middle of winter, but I've done it before, and I might do it again now. So a lot of stuff out there I need to do, a lot of content coming. But for the live stream, everything's scheduled out. The last 2 Tuesdays of the year, I'm going to kind of take a vacation. I'm still going to stream, but I'm not doing any kind of organized guest. Anybody who wants to show up can come on the show and hang out, but it's going to be just like a whatever stream. So I'm not going out and grabbing some type of industry guest and going through all that. It's just going to be, if anybody wants to come on. Otherwise, we'll just have a happy holiday chat together, and we can all drink eggnog and talk about Christmas and New Year's and that kind of stuff. But scheduling into 2022 now, I've got about 5 or 6 episodes already scheduled for the 52 weeks of next year. So that's super exciting. Plan to have you on the show a couple of times at least throughout the year, Miko, to talk about.
I got your message about that, and the answer is yes. That's fine. I'm all like,
I'm going to schedule you before the Long Beach show, and then I'm going to schedule you before the Denver show, whenever that happens. And because I want you to be able to get that story out there and talk about that. Because for me, I was at the Long Beach show this past year, and it was really awesome. And this, first show coming off of COVID, and it suffered from all of the normal things that you might associate with being the first after the lockdown, but it was still an awesome show, and it gave me an opportunity to meet the staff, right? And you've got a great crew working for you, to get that show done. So I really enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to being back there, and then the Denver thing is this is going to be the show with underline.
So it's no longer T period H period E period. It's T _H _E so we're gonna change the punctuation now
somehow and make it bold. And make it bold. So that's kind of what's going on in my world. And for that giveaway, the number one prize is that $5,000 per listen subwoofer. $5,000, y'all. 5 G's. It's a lot of scratch for a subwoofer. That's a pretty beastly unit. So make sure that you're all signed up for that. I'll put all those links down below. I'm getting tired. I'll put all of those links down below. Miko, please give me a set of all of your links for all this stuff, because I don't know what all you want to have down in the notes, but provide those over, and I'll make sure those are in the notes so people can find things. And we'll keep that updated in the future. So when the calendar comes around and people are listening to this, they're like, I've got to have this calendar. Well, there'll be a link there. And then I'll go in and I'm going to type in the instructions for entering the contest into the notes here. And I'll probably do, a couple of live videos over the next couple of days, pushing that out. But please, everybody out there, encourage your friends to enter the contest. I would love to see you know, a couple of hundred different stupid videos on Instagram for this, because it's a pretty rocking prize. And you know, I was shocked and very happy when they said, "Hey, let's give away one of our brand new players." And it's not even the low end one; it's, you know, it's a freaking expensive ass player. So that's really nice of them. So that's all I got, folks. Amico, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's always wonderful.
Always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Absolutely. Everybody else out there, everybody watching, you know, as I say, time is precious. And thank you so much for taking your time and spending it here with me and the guests and all of the other viewers. It's very much appreciated. And hopefully, you know, I'm trying to show the love back to you guys with these giveaways. Make sure you're entered, because right now, if you enter, you have a really good chance to win some really good prizes. So make sure you do that. And I'll see you guys next week in the next video. See ya.